I want every single gnome that we have in this game. I'm just gonna do it. I'm gonna do it. It's fine. It's my bedroom. Well, it's not mine. It's Gary's bedroom, but I'm doing it for him, and that's what I want to do. Hi, hey, hello, my name is Sarah and welcome to another Sims 4 Kids bedroom renovation that is very themed for my Occult Baby challenge. And today is going to be a really interesting one because recently in the Occult Baby challenge we had a baby with a garden gnome, and it's time for Gary to have his gnome themed bedroom made over. And I have no vision for this except for gnomes. Okay, we're going to have so many gnomes in this bedroom. I'm really excited for that, but aside from that, I don't know what I'm doing. So with that being said, let's now jump into The Sims 4. I'll introduce you to Gary and then let's make over his gnome themed bedroom. Alright you guys, here we have Gary. He's currently a toddler and I have this very, very cute gnome themed costume. It's perfect and he just looks like a garden gnome and it's very cute. So that is Gary at the moment, a toddler Reno. In the next episode of the Occult Baby Challenge, he will be aging up into a child, so we really need to get his bedroom made over today. And you guys, I only have one bedroom available at the moment. It is this one that was a Holly's bedroom. Gosh, it feels like just yesterday that we made over this bedroom and that Holly moved into it. Okay, so after emptying the room, we are starting with 22,033 simoleons. This is a fantastic budget. I don't know if we're going to use all of it, but I do know that some of the gnomes, statue, sculpture things are pretty pricey, in like the multiple hundreds of dollars. So it would be nice to have a good budget. Okay, I'm going to try and make it slightly garden themed, but like a light version of garden theme. So I'm thinking a feature wall that gives me garden. I have this one from Enchanted by Nature currently, but if I can find a different wallpaper that would suit better, like maybe it's even just the Little Wing Kids mural and we could get it in like the green, right? That gives me very garden, and if he's a garden gnome, he'd be sitting in the grass. So maybe that's what I'm gonna do. Also, just ignore the little flowers and leaves we can see clipping through. That is from this archway that is in the Child of the Wishing Wells bedroom. Just ignore that, please, and thank you very much. I don't think I want to go overboard in like changing the flooring to grass or anything, but we do have a rug from high school years. It's this one, the rug around. This is actually the rug that was originally in here, and as you can see, it kind of has these little flowers on it, but there is a green swatch that also has these little flowers on it that kind of gives me like grassy vibes once again, so we could use that rug. And then the rest is just gonna be, I don't know. I'm really making this one up as I go along. But one thing I do want to do is I do want to use these roller blinds that we have on these windows. They fit kind of perfectly. I just want to change the swatch. Maybe we could just go the green, right? Good start. Solid start. Now I feel like I need to come up with a bed though, right? I feel like I need to come up with a bed that could maybe give me garden vibe, but could also just give me really childlike vibe is also what I'm going for here. So let's see what I can come up with. I'm going to come up with a few options. I'll be right back for you.
A few moments later.
Alright you guys, these are the options that I've come up with. Now, I didn't find any that were giving me particularly garden themed. These are the ones I came up with in a green theme. Now straight away, this one gives me like the ultimate childlike energy, but I don't really like that we've got the dark blue in it, so I'm gonna get rid of that one immediately. I already know which bed I'm gonna choose, by the way. I'm just showing you my thought process with this one. These two are both from Discover University, which is why we have the same swatches in the wood tones and also the same swatches in the blankets. It's nice to see that cohesion in pack related stuff, right? This one, you can't really see it from that angle, but it has little drawers on the side of the bed, and that gives me kind of childlike energy as well, but I don't think I want to use that one. It looks a little bit too modern for the vibe I kind of wanted to go with for this bedroom. This one looks like a more traditional kids bed. So does this one though. But this one, I really like the patchwork on it. It helps to inject some different shades of green into this room, and I think I just like it overall better than this one. We also have the same wood tone as we have in the floor, and I like that because I'm not changing the flooring in this bedroom. So it's gonna be this bed is what I've decided. We're going with this bed. It is all all good. So now that I've got the bed sorted, we're going to do what I usually do and take a look at the requirements for the child of the garden gnome and find out the other items that we are going to have to put in this bedroom, the skills that this child is going to need to gain before they're able to leave the house. So the garden gnome is one that I added into the Occult Baby challenge. So I decided that the child of the garden gnome would need to get to level 5 of the mischief and the handiness skill, and that they'll also need to complete the My Sleeping Giant fable, which is a part of Enchanted by Nature. So we're going to need to have the handiness table here, which I do have the handiness table upstairs in the attic. I can easily bring that down, that's fine. And we do also have the mischief skill that we're going to need to gain as well. So a computer pretty much for this child, right? So maybe I could chuck it over here because I am also going to need a desk. Although no, I'll chuck it there. And I think maybe a desk over here would be nice. Okay, so with that being said, why not? Let's look at a desk right now. So I want something that also gives me kind of like the similar vibes to the bed would be really nice. Straight away, my eye immediately went to the scriv board. I really like that coloring as well because we've got the similar, the wood tones matching to the headboard of the bed. I love that. So I'm happy to go with that. And then we need a computer. Now, something that feels maybe a little bit more childlike would be nice. We do have the aesthetically portable tablet. Okay, so if we've got one that's a green vibe, that'd be nice. This might be the only green vibe that we've got though. I mean, we've got that one, but we've got like the orange. Maybe I'll go with that. I like the more pastel vibes of that one better. And then we do need a chair. Now I've had a look through all the desk chairs and I don't like the desk chairs. So let me have a look at normal chairs because you can also use normal chairs at desks, right? I want something that just gives me a bit childlike, right? Not the high chair though. That's a bit too childlike, okay? I mean, the little Pals folding chair gives me like the ultimate kids vibes. It's just not the kind of chair that you would generally put at a desk, but that doesn't mean that we can't, because hold on. The reason I'm thinking this, firstly, it's green. It's very childlike and cute, but also you would put this chair out on your lawn where the garden gnomes are. That's why I'm thinking going with this chair. I'm just gonna do it. I'm gonna do it. It's fine. It's my bedroom. Well, it's not mine, it's Gary's bedroom, but I'm doing it for him and that's what I want to do. I want to get like every single gnome that we have to put in this bedroom. And with that being said, I should just mention on the last episode of this series where we made the Child of the Wishing Wells room, and I mentioned that I wanted to have all of the garden gnomes in this room that we're doing right now, Invader T said just be careful using the garden gnomes because if it's Harvest Fest coming up in the game, they'll move around. And I know that from experience, but thankfully for us, we've actually just had Harvest Fest happen in the last episode of the Occult Baby Challenge. So I know that I can place all of the gnomes in here that I like, and while Gary's in this room, those gnomes won't be moving. Okay, it's gonna be all good and totally fine. So, I mean, I love to put bookcases. I need a dresser in here and a mirror as well. For the bookcases, I'm actually thinking of getting the one that we had in here for Holly's bedroom back out because it's like outdoor vibes. I feel like that's kind of perfect. Okay, these are two dresses that I came up with and I think, I like them for different reasons. This one is from the Kindermaid set, which like I mentioned before, that gives me like the ultimate kids vibes, right? It's very kid-like. But then this one kind of matches the desk that we've got. It has the same wood tone on the top and we've got the white for the base of it. It also comes from the Parenthood game pack, so it is again childlike just in a slightly different way. I'm thinking of going with this one though. I do really like that dresser. It's all good. I was thinking in the household inventory, I'm pretty sure we have a planter. This planter, the Luscious Locks mini plant, and at the moment it's white, but it has different character swatches on it. I'm pretty sure there's a gnome one. Yes, there it is, the garden gnome one. So cute. We have to have that on the bedside table. They're so cute and I love that. All right, I think we need to get some curtains on these windows. Now, I'm not expecting to find gnome-themed curtains, right? So I'm just going to kind of filter by the color green and see what we can come up with for these windows, right? The curtains. Let's do it. Okay, so the problem is the only curtains that I like only come in like shorter window height. All of the other curtains that I have seen, I am not particularly impressed with for this bedroom. So, in green, anyway. I really did want it to be green though. They're too thin. These ones are also too short, but not by much though, right? I could work with them. I'm gonna work with them. The pattern is interesting and they're slightly too short, but I can make it look like they're not too short, okay? That's gonna be fine. Okay, my problem is solved because I definitely wanted green curtains. They do cover up more of the window that I would like, but what can you do, right? They're the only option I've really got. Now, I would love to have some more furniture down this way. Maybe we can put like a stereo, we can put a couch in there. That's what I've done for that space for the last few bedrooms in this room that we've done, but not right now. Right now, I want to get stuck into gnome, okay? I want to just search gnome and see what we've got. Showing all by gnome. Okay, so are these all the gnomes that we've got? I thought we had more gnomes than that. No, we definitely have more gnomes than that. Okay, it's fine, but straight away I'm seeing this angry gnome decal. It has to go in here, right? But maybe it can go on the brick wall. Maybe we could do that above the... Or do I like it better above the desk? It might be better to go above the desk, right? Okay, that's something. We do also have this little sign post, which I think that could be really cute to frame the bed, actually. And then maybe it's just having some shelving in between those two signposts, right? I think that could be cute. I do. Hey, did you know that 67% of you watching right now are not subscribed to my YouTube channel? If you'd like to see some fun Sims 4 gameplay, some Sims 4 creator sim videos, build videos, and some gameplay of The Sims past, then hit the subscribe button down below and join my wonderful community of Triceratops. But with that being said, let's get back into the video. Okay, so now that I know that that's what I'm going to do, and now that I know that I'm going to have to actually go through the sculptures to find all of the gnomes, because we definitely have a gazillion more gnomes than these ones that I'm looking at, right? I am probably going to then take a little turn and we will look at doing the couch and maybe a stereo, just to get that part done so I know that this side of the room is done. So again, it's going to be a green couch that's also giving me childlike energy. I mean, a green couch that gives me childlike energy, right? But I just don't know if that's the right energy. The inflatable couch, I just don't think it's quite what I'm looking for, even though it is incredibly childlike, right? Okay, so this is what I've decided to do over here. This couch is not my favorite, but it's a 3-tile couch. It's green. It serves a purpose, right? I grabbed another of the lava lamps and also this little Kitty Tunes radio. Very, very cute. So that's that side of the bedroom done. Pending some things to go above the workbench. And now I'm ready, I think, to get into getting all of the gnomes out. So let me go into decor. We're going to go into sculptures. Let's get them all out, all right? I want every single gnome that we have in this game. Okay, so in case you were wondering, these are all of the gnomes that we have in the game, right? There's a lot of gnomes here. I can do this though. I'm going to make this work, okay? So let me get started. So I'm thinking above the bed, I'll put my favorite gnomes. I did also put a couple of little plants on the end, and we've got this guy, the Herb the Posy Protector. He's so cute. I had to put him on the bedside table there, right? Okay, so my favorite garden gnomes to go above the bed, all right? All right, so this is the first shelf of gnomes. I don't know if I want to do another shelf up above. Maybe I can put some plants up on the top shelf. I mean, I do already have my little gnome plants and they're so cute, but these are my favorite gnomes. I love them. We do have Mr. Floppy the gnome. We've got Plant Gnome. We've got the Grim Reaper gnome, the Ghastly Ghostly gnome. We've got the Gnome Delph, as in Gandalf, right? I love that. And we've got the Very Fairy gnome. I love those gnomes, but we've still got a lot of gnomes to handle, right? So I'm gonna get more shelving. We're gonna put more gnomes over above the workbench, all right? All right, so with another shelf done, all of these gnomes are really cute. Look at this guy, the Happy Gnome Garden Pal. So cute, he's so chuffed. I do love the Bare Essentials gnome. The Barely gnome is also super cute. Am I thinking about like having the gnomes in this bedroom because we do have Gary who needs to work on the handiness skill? In The Sims 1, there was a handiness workbench that you had that could specifically make garden gnomes. And I used to do that all the time. It's like a rags to riches thing. It was a great way to make money, is to make gnomes, because they didn't take long to make and you could sell them for an all right price, but you could just make so many in a day, right? So I used to do that all the time in The Sims 1, and I would love the idea behind this is that Gary made every single one of these gnomes on this handiness bench. He didn't. We know that he didn't, but that's the story behind it, okay? So I have 5 gnomes left to place. I've got a couple of places on the desk that we could put some gnomes. So maybe I can put these 2 on the desk because they kind of look like they're part of the same set because they're the same gnome just with different things. This one, the gnome body loves mushrooms like a gnome. And this one, the there's no place like gnome. So then I've got 3 more. I'm wondering if I can fit one of these in the bookcase. So maybe the poolside gnome we could chuck in the bookcase here. Maybe I can size her down by 1. Also, this is the only gnome that is a lady gnome. All of the other gnomes are not lady gnomes. Maybe I can also put the alien gnome, the guardian of the gnome Luxie, and I can chuck that one in the top of this bookshelf. Cool. And then I literally have only 1 gnome left, and it is the Happy Gnomeversary gnome, which I think was for the 15th anniversary of The Sims. Goodness, that's crazy. That was a fair time ago. Maybe I can just chuck him in the middle of the wolf gnome and the adventure gnome. Okay, look, that's all gnomes placed. I'm happy with that. So the last little finishing touches that I need, I think I need some more greenery. We need to put some plants on these shelves. I'll see what I can come up with for that. Let's do that. Yeah, I think that's very, very cute to finish off this bedroom. I think we're done, honestly, right? Hold on, let me just make sure. I'll do one final gnome search and just make sure there's nothing else. Oh, there's more gnomes. Hold on. This gnome. Why did I not see this gnome? The right side up gnome. Also, we've got Chuck Wagon here. That's a gnome. He has to be in here somewhere. Oh, no. Oh, goodness. I think I have every other gnome. Oh, no, the High Rider gnome on the flamingo, of course. I should have gnomed that there would be more gnomes. Well, maybe I can stick this guy with the wagon over underneath the sign, which will render the mirror kind of useless, but I can scooch everything that we are seeing here over, right? Okay, so we've got that gnome in because he has to be in this room, right? Yes, so then we've got the High Rider gnome that maybe I could stick just underneath this guy over here. Yes. And then I've got one more. The right side up gnome. Can he fit on the desk behind the computer? Yes, he can. Okay, crisis averted. Crisis absolutely averted. I think that that's going to be absolutely fine once I move this little gnomeversary one. I mean, hold on. I do also have a big glaringly open patch above the workbench. Let me just see if I can find one photo, one painting maybe to go above there. I'm kind of liking the idea of putting a tree decal behind the shelf. Kind of like that, because I feel like that fits the wall nicely. It's just which tree decal. We've got a few tree decals. I don't really like this one. I think it's a little bit too cartoony. We've also got this one from the base game. It's a little bit smaller though. I kind of wanted it to take up a little bit more of the wall. This one is really cute and has so many different swatches, right? So let's take a look at that real quick. We've got this one with the owls, this one with the squirrels, this one with the sloth. I'm not quite thinking the sloth vibes though. So it's either going to be the owls or the squirrels in that one. I think I like the squirrels one better, injecting a little bit of darker brown in there. Yeah, I feel like that's going to tie that off beautifully. Maybe I can just put a couple more little plants. We've got the authority plants that, you know, they sneak in really nicely into small spaces of corners and things like that. And I also have the uncommon ivy that I could hang from like this corner. Yeah, okay. It's looking very cluttered, but that's kind of what I wanted. It's just full of gnomes, and with the thought that Gary made every single one of these gnomes, I think it's actually really, really cute. A plant in the corner there, I think will finish that off quite nicely. So a little bit more sparse on this side, that's okay, because where it counts, we are cluttered and looking very cute and very garden gnome. So I'm really happy with this bedroom for Gary, the child of the garden gnome. And we didn't spend all of our money as well, 13,000 left. Nicely done, me. Very nice. But guys, that's all I've got for this video of renovating a kid's bedroom to be garden gnome themed. The next one, we are going in a completely different direction because we recently had a baby with Kylo Ren in the Occult Baby challenge. So the next bedroom is gonna be Star Wars Journey to Batuu themed. It's gonna be a challenge and I am ready to accept the challenge. So if you'd like to see that bedroom renovation come to life or any other Sims 4 content that I've got coming your way, then hit the subscribe button down below and hit the notification bell next to it to be notified of every time that I upload. And if you liked this video, let me know by hitting the like button down below and leave me a comment as well. Now, I am just absolutely outraged at finding out that we do not actually have a garden gnome emoji. How do we not have a garden gnome emoji? I don't know. So I guess you guys are going to have to leave me a daisy emoji in the comments down below to let me know that you got this far in the video, you enjoyed watching this garden gnome themed renovation come to life, and you're excited and intrigued and a little nervous to see a Journey to Batuu bedroom come to life next time. But guys, I hope you're having the greatest day ever, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!